My name is Kevin Ferreira. And my name is Hazel B. And we'll be your commentators for this game. Stay tuned for the Hamilton Showdown.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the friendly game between the Mohawk Mountaineers and the McMaster Marauders here at the David Braley Recreation. All right, welcome everyone to Mohawk Mountaineers versus McMaster Marauders here at Fennel Campus at Mohawk College. Game has been underway. Mohawk now has possession, bringing in the inbound to number 5, Matt Savell. Going up the court, number 12, going for the three-pointer, not so quite. McMaster coming up the court, number 20. Oh, and a nice play by McMaster, getting 2 points on the board. It is Mohawk 6, Mac 2 at the start of this game in the first quarter. As Mohawk tries to make its way up the court. Number 33, O.J. Watson starting tonight, along with Matt Savall, number 5. Number 12, Matt Fennell. Number 10, Andrew Sasuti. And Taylor Downick. Number 15, as McMaster makes its way up the court. As McMaster tries to find their way in. Nice layup by number 3, Leon Alexander from McMaster, as Mohawk bring in the inbound.
This game's already looking intense between the Mohawk and McMaster.
McMaster with the
teams.
Steal, and they're making their way up the court. And a nice dunk by number 10, Taylor Black, as Mohawk is trying to recuperate. Mohawk trying to find an answer for McMaster's offense here. Number 33 with the ball, Joseph Ruck. O.J. Watson, from Mohawk. He tries to find an open man. He finds number 10, Andrew Sasuti. Tries to go for a three-pointer, not so quite. And we have a 24-second violation on the court.
This game's already starting out strong. Both teams looked good in practice, and we're seeing it here on the courts tonight.
Number 25 makes his way up the court against Mohawk. Mohawk looking good so far defensively in this first quarter, not allowing McMaster to make its way through, as a travel is called on number 10, on Taylor Black, and now Mohawk has possession. This should be an intense game here tonight, as McMaster is looking for some redemption from last year when they lost to Mohawk in this exhibition game, 86-82. As Mohawk gains possession of the ball at the inbounds, making their way hard up the court. Okay. Number 5, Matt Savall, passes the ball, trying to go for a three-pointer, not so quite, as McMaster rebounds, making their way up the court, looking for the open man in the open lane. Number 3 with the nice layup, Leon Alexander for McMaster, as Mohawk is starting to make their way back up on the court. Mohawk a little bit behind on the scoreboard here, trying to find their way back into things, as Mac leads 13-4 against Mohawk, with 6:25 left in the first quarter.
Still plenty of time for Mohawk to turn it around.
A timeout is called. by Mohawk to try to recuperate here. Now to set the stage for you guys for this game last year, 2013, McMaster Marauders came into this building, into the brand new state-of-the-art facility known as the David Braley Athletic Center to try to get over Mohawk. However, failed to do so as they lost 86-82. Tonight, looking for some redemption against the Mohawk Mountaineers. As both teams are trying to figure out what to do next when they come back out on the court. Mohawk trying to recuperate as McMaster is trying to keep this lead going, at least for the first quarter. However, this game is far from being over. Actually, McMaster head coach Amos Connolly said before this game that I believe this year's Mohawk team can win another national championship as they did in 2012. They have great size, terrific athletes, and shooters. This game will be a war for our guys, and so far this is a high-paced game as both teams head their way out on the court. Both teams set the play here. It is Mohawk ball, with number 33, O.J. Watson, bringing the inbound to number 5, point guard Matt Saval. Matt Saval is a new addition to the Mohawk team, playing 4 years of basketball at the University of Toronto. As McMaster has the ball, they're bringing in the inbound. Making their way back up the court, number 25, Adam Pursuti. McMaster trying to look their way in as McMaster sets up for a substitution after this play with number 5, Troy Joseph. A nice floater. Oh. And out of bounds, it is McMaster ball. As we have some substitutions coming out in the court. Number 4 and number 5 for McMaster. Trayvon McNeil and Troy Joseph substituting for number 22, Rowan Bainey. As substitutions for Mohawk as well, number 23 and 44, Jeff Hunt and Brian Hursky for Mohawk College as they make their way out onto the court. Master with the inbound, trying to find the open man as he finds it in Trayvon McNeil. An open lane to the basket, tried to float it in. Mohawk, with the rebound as they make their way back up the court. Number 5 going hard up the court. Trying to make the play. Great perimeter defense by McMaster against Mohawk to keep them from getting the open lane on the way to the basket. That three-pointer goes a little short as number 3 charges his way up the court. Tries to get that basket, but Mohawk fighting hard underneath that net as they get the rebound, making their way back up the court. And a foul on number 3, Leon Alexander. As a substitution takes place for McMaster with 21, David McCulloch coming onto the court. Mohawk has possession as we come to the halfway point in this first quarter. Almost stripped away there by number 3, Leon Alexander, as they try to find the open lane. Takes field goal range. As now it is McMaster ball. Great back and forth action between these two teams so far in this opening quarter, with Mac leading by 13 and Mohawk trailing by 7 as McMaster tries to find the open man. charging hard to the basket. A foul being called.
Mohawk's defense seems to be getting better.
Foul being called on number 44, Brian Hersky, as Troy Joseph goes to the line for 2. Misses the first as substitution is being ready for McMaster to come in. He makes that one as the substitutions come in. Number 11 and number 10 for McMaster. Taylor Black and Connor Gilmore. Taylor Black, person to look out for on the McMaster Marauders. As he almost strips away the basket. Number 23 making his way hard up the court, Jeff Hunt. However, a foul is called. As more substitutions come in for Mohawk, number 3 and number 15. Patrick Lavone and Taylor Downick. And McMaster has possession, trying to drive his way up the lane. Rebounded by Mohawk as they make their way up the court, trying to come back here. A little bit of a rough start so far here for the Mohawk Mountaineers against the McMaster Marauders. So they go for the three-pointer, a little short there. Mohawk rebounds, fights for it hard. Mohawk ball. Number 23 inbounding. Rebounded by number 4, Trayvon McNeil from McMaster, as they're frantically making their way back up the court. Nice feint there by number 10. Number 21 looking for his open man. Great defense here shown by Mohawk so far. Foul called, Mohawk ball. We expected this game to be intense, and so far it has lived up to its expectations.
After their timeout, Mohawk has really come back strong, especially with defense, and here we go again.
Defensively, Mohawk has been great. However, on the other side of the court, they need some work. It's just McMaster's defense is also very, very good. McMaster's just so fast coming up that court. Great rebound by number 5, jumping high to get that ball. Foul being called on Mohawk, as Troy Joseph goes to the line for the McMaster Marauders with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Substitution being ready for Mohawk as number 33, O.J. Watson, enters the fray.
And a nice shot by number 5, Troy Joseph.
Extra 2 points there for McMaster, a crucial 2 points as Mohawk makes the inbound. A little bit of a slip up there by Mohawk on the inbound. McMaster ball. McMaster finds an open lane. As a foul is called, and Mohawk ball. A substitution coming in for McMaster, number 32 for number 5. Joseph Rocca enters play. As Mohawk is trying to make their way up the court, trying to make a comeback in this game in the first quarter. Trying to end this first quarter on a good note. As McMaster rushes their way back up, trying to get that extra point. Mohawk basketball as it rolls out of bounds off of McMaster. Mohawk makes his way up the court. Jeff Hunt with the ball. Oh, great pass to number 3 with the 2 points. Patrick Lavone with 2 points. As McMaster tries to make a comeback off of that play with a nice 3-pointer by number 32, Joseph Rocca. Aggressive play. Oh, nice open lane, nice open man. Number 33, O.J. Watson for the easy 2. As McMaster tries to answer that. Ooh, wow. Almost a 3-pointer. But Mohawk rebounds and makes his way up the court. Doing a 3-pointer of his own, number 3. Patrick Lavone answering that 3-pointer made by McMaster just a little while ago. McMaster airballs the 3-pointer as Mohawk capitalizes on that. Makes play of its own, drives hard to the lane. But McMaster rebounds and is on pursuit. Trying to end this quarter definitively. As a timeout is called. Right now the score, Mac 19, Mohawk 14. Mohawk making a little bit of a comeback here. Sorry, no timeout. Inbound. Number 33 to number 5. Matt Saval, point guard. Nice strip by McMaster to gain possession. Tries to find the open lane, charging down the, as he goes for a 3-pointer and gets it. Trayvon McNeil. Mohawk with possession, the last 13 seconds on the clock. Got to make something happen here. As Mohawk drives up the court, gains the foul. A foul on number 3 of McMaster, Leon Alexander. As a substitution is about to come in for McMaster, number 22, Rohan.
As the clock ran
point
down.
guard Matt Saval is getting ready to inbound. Trying to find that open man. Last 7 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. Trying to bring something together here. As McMaster is getting ready to bring in another substitution. Connor Gilmore for number 3, Leon Alexander, as Mohawk tries to scramble together a last-second play in this first quarter.
Much needed point for Mohawk.
Andrew Sasuti at the line, shooting 2, made the first one. Nicely done. Substitutions come in for Mohawk. McMaster will have likely the last possession of this quarter with the last 6 to 7 seconds. Making their way hard up the court, trying to get the last 2 points. Mohawk almost there. As that signals the end of the first quarter. Mac 22, Mohawk 16, ending in the first.
And as expected, an intense game between Mohawk and McMaster in only the first period.
This Mohawk team, not easily faced, however, even though they are behind 16-22 on the scoreboard. All right, talking to the coach before this game, told me about a bunch of new additions for the Mohawk Mountaineers this year, one of them being point guard Matt Saval, who started the game today, who spent 4 years at the University of Toronto playing. Also O.J. Watson, who played in Iowa in junior league and high school. Also Kojo Afar, who's a transfer from Sault Ste. Marie, who's a great addition to the Mohawk Mountaineers team. Also Brian Hersky, who's starting his first year here at Mohawk. And he's also 6'10", so that'll be a bonus for any team. Also Yosef Maladalov, who played for 2 years at Fanshawe, a great addition to the Mohawk Mountaineers team as they look to repeat success from 2 years ago when they won a national title. There are still some key players on this team from that team 2 years ago. Andrew Cincinnuti, Matt Fennell, Taylor Downick, and Jeff Hunt on the Mohawk Mountaineers team, also from that 2012 national championship team, as they lead these new additions. As second quarter is about to begin, and McMaster's number 11, Connor Gilmore, is getting set to inbound the ball to number 25, Adam Prasuti, on the McMaster Marauders. As we commence the second quarter of this game. Now, as we saw from that first quarter, Mohawk had some troubles defensively and offensively. However, at the last few moments of the first quarter, Mohawk came back on the scoreboard as Mohawk charges his way back up the court. Drives to the line. A foul is called on the Marauders. Aggressive play here today, as we expected, as McMaster is looking for some redemption from last year's loss. As Matt Saval, the point guard, goes to the line for two, misses his first. But gains the second as the Marauders come in for the inbound. Some cleanup needed to be on the floor there, hence the pause and play for a moment there. But we're right back to it. McMaster brings it in. Mohawk all over McMaster so far in the early stages of this second quarter. Defense must have been a big topic as they went to their sides in between the first quarter and this quarter. As the ball went out of bounds, and now it is Mohawk's ball. Matt Saval. Patiently waiting for a play to come up. That was a beautiful play by Mohawk. As number 12, Matt Fennell, finishes it with 2 points. McMaster coming back. Great play. Nice rebound by number 11. Back to number 10. But Mohawk not giving up. Nice rebound, fighting for that ball, gaining possession. charging its way up the court, looking for that open man. Tried to draw the foul. Not quite successful there. That is now McMaster ball. As a substitution is getting ready for McMaster to enter the fray. Master trying to set a play here. Charging its way up the court.
And some excellent passing between McMaster teammates.
Foul is called. McMaster inbounds, and a substitution is made. Number 3, Leon Alexander comes in for number 11, Connor Gilmore. And another substitution, number 44, Lazar Kochevic, coming in for number 4, Trayvon McNeil, as they inbound the ball. Trying to make a play. Mohawk, though, defensively, they look way better in this quarter than they did in the first. And it is shown. Nice fake there by number 12. Passing it back up to point guard, Matt Saval. Tries to make a play to the open man, number 15, Taylor Downick. However, loses control of the ball and takes it out of bounds. Marauders ball. Aggressive play is always good. However, in that play, it was a little bit too aggressive as a foul was called. And a substitution made for Mohawk. Number 23, Jeff Hunt, comes back to play as McMaster inbounds and makes his way back up the court. McMaster seems to be struggling a little bit offensively in this quarter as they can't find their open man. Mohawks has been all over them this quarter so far. Nice rebound by McMaster as they reset play. Nice little back and forth there by McMaster, but a steal and a breakaway. Number 33, Marco with the slam. That's got to feel good for Mohawk. Confidence building in Mohawk, and it is showing for sure as they have brought the lead up. McMaster still has the lead though, 25-21. As McMaster tries to find a comeback, and that'll help for sure. Number 25 with the three-pointer, Adam Pursuti. Beautiful shot. As Mohawk tries to answer, however, McMaster strips the ball, makes their way back up the court. Nice hard drive to the lane. A nice finish by number 10. 2 points, Taylor Black. Mohawk a little over aggressive there, a little over excited, tried to pass the ball up the lane. Got a lot of control as it went out of bounds. Now it's McMaster ball. With 6:44 left in this second quarter. Mohawk trails by 9
As
points.
the clock ticks down, both teams are starting to feel the pressure.
Master goes for the three-pointer. A foul is called on Matt Saval, number 5. And now he will shoot 3 from free throw range. Mohawk trying to come back aggressively to try to answer McMaster from the first quarter as he makes his first of 3. Mohawk tries to answer that by coming back quick up the court. Almost lost the ball there. Play is going fast and furious here in this game as a substitution is being made for McMaster, number 13 and number 23. Aaron Redpath and Nathan McCarthy as they come in to join their team against the Mohawk Mountaineers. 15 seconds left for Mohawk to make a play here. Mohawk trying to find their man. Jeff Hunt tries to put it up, but couldn't quite make it. Then McMaster comes back hard down the court. Nice 2 points there by Leon Alexander of the McMaster Marauders. Mohawk fast play, a little out of control there. However, it went off the leg of McMaster's Leon Alexander, as Jeff Hunt now inbounds for the Mohawk Mountaineers to the point guard, Matt Savall, as he tries to make a play. Nearly halfway through this second quarter. Number 44, Brian Hursky, tries to put it up, couldn't quite make it. Aggressive play here, almost a steal by Mohawk, however, McMaster recovers. And a 24-second violation on the Marauders as Mohawk recovers quickly and makes their way up the court. And a three-pointer by Patrick LeVar. Mohawk. Coach seems a little confused by how that play was fair. However, play continues. As a foul is called on number 44. As a substitution is made for McMaster. 21, David McCulloch comes in for number 25 as Leon Alexander shoots for two. This is the first. This is the second as well. Mohawk gains possession, making their way up the court. Nice find to number 12. Couldn't quite make the three-point shot. Master comes back. Tries to find that open man. A charging foul. Sorry, a blocking foul called on Mohawk as Leon Alexander goes and shoots two. Substitution being made, number 5. Troy Joseph comes in. As McMaster tries to recuperate here.
And a chance for Leon Alexander, number 3, to redeem himself.
Mohawk inbounds as we're less than halfway through this second quarter now as Mohawk tries. Get that 2 points. However, McMaster rebounds and makes his way up court. Number 23 going for a three-pointer. Pull-up jumper. Couldn't quite make it. A foul is called. And Mohawk inbounds. Nice steal by number 23 for McMaster, Aaron Redpath. However, Mohawk looking great defensively in the second quarter. Gains possession, however. Now a foul is called. Some confusion here out on the court so far for a brief moment. Try to gain back play.
There seems to be some confusion on the courts.
All right, Mohawk inbounds. Not Saval. Makes his way up the court. Andrew Sasudi with a nice layup for 2 points from Mohawk as McMaster makes his way back up the court, trying to answer that. Nice attempt there. However, Mohawk rebounds and gains possession. Nice floater by number 44 of Mohawk, Brian Hersky. McMaster playing at a high level right now, though. High pace, trying to make a comeback here in this quarter. However, they still lead 39-28 in this game as McMaster sets up for another substitution. Nice block by Brian Hersky on number 21. Foul is called on Matt Saval of Mohawk. It's number 21 goes shoot for 2. David McCauley as a substitution is also made. Number 4, Trayvon McNeil comes on court for McMaster as Dave McCulloch shoots 2. Makes the first. Couldn't quite make the second as Mohawk rebounds. Oh, and a nice steal by McMaster. And a nice 2 points. And a foul. So blocking foul is called. Patrick. Trayvon McNeil heads to the line to shoot for 2. Nice play there by McMaster as they get the first one. Master really coming back hard. He makes the second. Mohawk bringing in a substitution. Bringing in the veteran Taylor Downick from Mohawk, who's in his 5th year here at Mohawk College. As Mohawk inbounds the ball. 3 minutes remaining in this second quarter as Mohawk leads up the court. Low over aggressive play there, lost control of the ball. Went out of bounds. However, it is still Mohawk ball as they have 15 seconds in shot clock time to now make a play. Nice.
Beautiful block by McMaster.
McMaster rebounds, however. Nice steal. And number 15, Taylor Downick. However, McMaster recuperates. Heads up the court with the ball. Tries to find the open man, number 4. Trayvon McNeil, a nice 3-pointer for McMaster as Mohawk tries to recuperate now. It's a back and forth game, it seems like, between these two teams. However, McMaster seems to be the superior team here as they lead 45-28 in this game. As Mohawk now has 5 seconds to try to make a play. As they put up the ball, however, they could not make it. Number 23 rushing up the court now, Aaron Redpath from McMaster Marauders to try to find the open man. Try to end this quarter on a good note. Nice block there by Taylor Downick. Number 3, Patrick LeBron tries for the 3-pointer but couldn't quite make it. As McMaster tries to come back and has some substitutions waiting for them after this play is done. Number 10 tries to go for the 3. Mohawk rebounds. Number 33, O.J. Watson with the ball. Tries to make a play. Last minute of this second quarter. Andrews Sasudi with 2 points for the Mohawk Mountaineers. Number 4 tries to pull up the three-pointer, however, airballs. Mohawk coming back up, hard off the court. A nice play set by Mohawk, finished by O.J. Watson with a layup for 2 points.
And a timeout is called by McMaster.
As a 60-second timeout is called by McMaster. As they try to recuperate, as they come back in for the last minute of this second quarter. Mac leads 45-32. However, this game is far from being over, as we have seen. Play has been fast and furious as this game progresses. As we see Mohawk try to encourage their players. Seconds left in this timeout as these two teams get ready for the last minute of this second quarter.
Seconds remaining period, and anything can happen.
Now these two teams head their way back out onto the court for the last 40.7 seconds of this second quarter. Once again, Mac leads 45-32 against Mohawk, and it's McMaster inbounding the ball. Number 10, Taylor Black, inbounding. As Mohawk is all over them in these last few seconds of this second quarter. Well, too fast of a play there for McMaster to handle as they lose control and throw it out of bounds. Mohawk ball. O.J. Watson making his way up on the court. Trying to set a play here for the last 25 seconds of this second quarter. Eight seconds left on the shot clock as McMaster strips it away from them, and Taylor Black tries to charge down the court and try to get the ball. However, failed to do so. Went out of bounds, and now it is Mohawk ball. The last 13.5 seconds left in this second quarter. Mohawk inbounds, charging the way up the court, trying to find the last few points of this game in this quarter. Foul is called. Mohawk trying to quickly communicate with each other to make a play for these last 3.6 seconds. As number 3 puts it up for a three-pointer, however, no good. And as this second quarter comes to an end. Both teams, high pace, high octane action so far here in this first half of this game as Mac leads 45-32 against Mohawk. Mohawk Mountaineers and the McMaster Marauders face off against one another in this exhibition game here at Mohawk College at the Fennell campus. Score, Mac 45, Mohawk 32. Great first half of play by both teams, offensively and defensively. However, both have struggled on both ends of the court as well, specifically Mohawk as well. The Mohawk trying to fight back hard as they gain possession. Matt Savall, point guard, tries to make the play, and nice play there by Mohawk. Number 10, Taylor Black, finishing it off with 2 points. As McMaster makes his way back up the court, Leon Alexander with the ball, passing it off to number 10, Taylor Black. Tries to get the rebound, however, Mohawk. McMaster still has the ball. Mohawk with the rebound. McMaster strips him of the ball and gets 2 points. Number 22, Rohan, making that play as Mohawk makes his way back up the court. And stripped away again from Mohawk. McMaster. Fast and furious play to start off this third quarter. Nice dunk there by Leon Alexander. As Mohawk tries to recuperate here early in this third quarter. As Mac leads 49-34. And a foul is called, an elbow to the head by number 10 of Mohawk, Andrew Sudi. McMaster has the ball as they inbound and make their way back up the court here. As they try to set a play here around the perimeter, trying to make their way in. They found their in. Nice defense by Mohawk, however. Drew the foul by number 15, Taylor Downick from Mohawk drew the foul as number 22, Rohan, goes to the line for 2. Makes the first as the Mohawk coach, Brian Jonkers, talks to his players. Try to come back after these 2 points. Possible 2 points. He misses the second and Mohawk rebounds. Mohawk trying to recuperate here. Going hard to the basket. All the way goes Matt Saval with the ball. Draws contact and the foul to go to the line for 2 for Mohawk. A little bit of a rough start here Mohawk has in this third quarter. As Matt Saval, their point guard, shoots 2. Makes the first. Nice and easy.
Matt Savell looks to bring Mohawk up on the scoreboards.
A nice rebound, misses. His second shot rebound by McMaster as they make their way back up the court, and a little miscommunication there by both teams. Back and forth action so far in this game. Nice open man fight. Oh, as the ball gets stuck on the rim. A little bit of a rare occurrence going on. You don't see that too often as the ball gets stuck on the rim. However, it is still McMaster ball. 22 Rohan will make the inbound as McMaster looks to keep on rolling through this third quarter. And Mohawk fought for the ball there. Nice rebound as they reset and try to make a play here. Massive ball. Nice shot, number with 3 points. Trying to bring this Mohawk team back. As McMaster tries to answer that 3-pointer with a shot of their own. Resetting play at the top of the key here. Number 25 with a pull-up jumper. Adam Pursuti gets the 3. Nice answer there by McMaster. Mohawk, nice find by Matt Saval to number 10, Andrew Sudi on Mohawk. As McMaster tries to go for the dunk here. Get 2 points, but to no avail as Mohawk charges up the court. A little bit of an aggressive play there, lose control of the ball. Out of bounds, McMaster ball. As the substitution is getting ready to come in for McMaster. Number 5 for number 10. Troy Joseph replacing Taylor Black here for McMaster. And a substitution getting ready for Mohawk as well. Number 3 for Matt Saval. Number 3, Patrick Lavone for Mohawk. As Matt Saval takes a seat on the bench for now as McMaster inbounds. set of play. Makes his way around the back. Number 25 for a three-pointer. Mohawk tries to rebound, but McMaster gains possession once again. It's number 3. Tries to pass it off, but number 33, O.J. Watson, picks the ball up in between the pass. And a nice recovery there by Mohawk with a finish. McMaster tries to answer. Mohawk steals the ball away. It's number 3, Patrick Levone. Passes to O.J. Watson. Tries to put it up for 3. But McMaster rebounds as they make their way down the court. Adam Pursuti tries to make a play. However, once again, O.J. Watson coming down the court trying to make that play. However, nice block by McMaster. Pull-up jumper to no avail. However, McMaster rebounds and gets those 2 points they earned by the end of that play. And Mohawk with a comeback. Nice. All the way down the court, number 10 finishing it off, Andrews and Sudi. However, McMaster trying to make an answer for it. And a nice floater by Leon Alexander as Mohawk inbounds. Some nice high-pace action here in this game as Mohawk goes for 3. Mohawk tries to rebound, however, a foul is called as substitutions are getting ready for both McMaster and Mohawk. Number 11 and number 21 for McMaster and number 4. Matt Saval, Brian Hersky, and Jeff Hunt make their way back onto the court for Mohawk. Trying to get some fresh legs back in there to keep up with this high-paced action going on. Mohawk tries to steal the ball, however, McMaster comes back down the court. Nice finish there by number 11, Connor Gilmore, with the layup for 2. As Mohawk inbounds, Matt Saval, point guard with the ball, charging his way up the court. But the foul is called on number 21 on McMaster, David McCulloch. Inbound is made. Matt Saval once again has the ball. As he passes it to Patrick Levone. Back to Jeff Hunt. Nice high-paced action going on here. Trying to make the play, however, McMaster strips the ball from Mohawk. And a nice play there by McMaster. With Troy Joseph finishing it off for a nice layup too. McMaster picks off the ball once again as there are 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this third quarter. Nice finish for McMaster with a nice easy 2. As a timeout is called by Mohawk to try to recuperate here. As Mac leads 63-43. A big 20-point gap for Mohawk as they try to recuperate.
Mohawk's going to need to step up their game if they have any chance of turning this game around.
Great high-paced action so far in this third quarter. As we look at both ends of the court, both teams trying to recuperate. Mohawk especially trying to come back from this 20-point deficit that they have, that has accumulated over this game. As you see Brian Jonkers, the coach of Mohawk College, trying to bring his players back into this game. To seem a little bit worse for wear out on the board.
Right now, they're just held tough enough.
We now see McMaster. So far, this game has lived up to the hype of it being high-paced and high-octane. Fast and furious action by both teams, despite the scoreline. Mohawk inbounds, trying to come back from this play. Last year, Mohawk went 9-0 in their gym. undefeated. Let's see if they can lose for the first time in a year in their on home court as they make their way up to the hoop. Trying to make a play. McMaster, however, coming back with the ball, strips the ball away. Coming up the court. McMaster looking good so far in this game. As Mohawk tries to find an answer but can't quite get it. Number 4 with a jumper, couldn't quite get it. Mohawk rebounds. Mohawk ball. As Matt Fennell, 5th year here at Mohawk, makes the inbound to Matt Saval. Nice play there as Mohawk tries to get back on the board. However, McMaster not letting that happen so easily as they rebound and make their way back up the court. Number 32 with a pull-up jumper. Joseph Rocca scoring 3 points for Mac. McMaster a little aggressive there on the play. Put it out of bounds. Mohawk ball as a substitution is made. Number 20, Joseph Malakonda for Mohawk. However, McMaster picks it off and gets a layup. Easy, too. The story of this game seems to be Mohawk trying to recuperate from McMaster's onslaught. As substitutions are getting ready for McMaster. Number 3 and number 10. And number 23 as McMaster thunderingly makes their way back up the court. Gets an easy 2. Mohawk trying to make an answer. Pull-up jumper number for 3 points, and he makes it. Number 12, Matt Fennell, a veteran here on this Mohawk team. Never lets down. However, McMaster tries to answer and makes the answers. Number 32, Joseph Rocca, pull-up 3. Matt Saval of Mohawk tries to make a play. Nice save by number 23 of Mohawk, Jeff Hunt, another veteran here on this Mohawk Mountaineers team. As McMaster makes 4 substitutions to try to get some fresh legs on this court for the last minute and 12 seconds of this third quarter. It is Max 73, Mohawk 48 in this game. Mohawk has possession. Tries to find the open man. That's the ball. Makes his way up the court. Looking for his open man, trying to find the open lane. And a foul is called on number 25 of McMaster, Adam Pursuti, as Matt Saval goes to the line for 2. Tries to mount a comeback somewhat for Mohawk in this last minute of the third quarter as he misses the first. Rough time here going for Mohawk in the last few moments of this third quarter. Matt Saval puts up his second shot and he makes the second shot. McMaster ball. And you can expect a fast and furious last minute of this third quarter as McMaster tries to put this game away pretty much in the third quarter. Mohawk bench trying to rally for their team. Shot does not count. Foul on number 20 of Mohawk. As McMaster inbounds with 14 seconds left on the shot clock and 43 seconds left on the third quarter. Oh, almost a big play made by McMaster, however, couldn't quite finish. Mohawk tried to make a comeback, however. Fast and furious play, showing aggression here on both sides, which is something you want to see. However, you don't want to ever see it getting a little bit too out of hand. Thankfully it didn't, as number 3 Leon Alexander heads to the line for 2. With 30.7 seconds left in the third quarter.
As the seconds tick down, this game is getting more and more intense.
However, it's no surprise how good this McMaster team is. As last season they averaged 85.5 points a game as Leon Alexander makes his first shot. Couldn't quite make the second. Mohawk trying to get the rebound as Matt Saval makes his way up the court. Trying to end this quarter on a high note for Mohawk. Tries to go for 3, couldn't quite make it. Number 22 charging his way up the court for McMaster. Couldn't quite finish. However, try to go for the rebound, and they recover the ball with 8 seconds left in this third quarter as they try to make a play. Number 23 puts it up, couldn't quite get it. As the seconds wind down, and this third quarter comes to an end with Mac leading the charge, 74, Mohawk 49. Some high aggressive play as we've seen in that third quarter. Mohawk trying to mount a comeback. Number 23, Jeff Hunt, with that big block. And we'll take a look at that again. Number 23, Jeff Hunt, with that big block against McMaster. Which is aggression that you want to see in this type of game as Mohawk tries to make a comeback. However, struggling to do so for sure. McMaster does too much for Mohawk so far in this game. The question is going into this last quarter, can Mohawk make a comeback? Or is the deficit a little too large for Mohawk to come back from? As they come back onto the court for the final quarter of this game, this exhibition game between the Mohawk Mountaineers and the McMaster Marauders. As they set up O.J. Watson on the sidelines, getting ready to make the inbounds. Another 30 seconds of wait for this fourth quarter to begin. And if you're wondering, there's a certain player on the Mohawk bench that hasn't been playing today. His name is Zenas Barreton, as he's leaving for Trinidad tomorrow. Has some family issues that he needs to go and take care of. However, he will be returning to the Mohawk Mountaineers next semester. We wish himself and his family well wishes. As Mohawk inbounds and tries to make a play here, almost stripped away by McMaster. Nice steal there by McMaster as they make their way back up the court. Tries for that three-pointer, couldn't quite make it. Trying to rebound that shot. Mohawk fighting aggressively, however, comes up on the short end of the stick there as McMaster gained possession. Mohawk looking for something there, but couldn't quite get it. As number 22 inbounds. Nice play there by McMaster, however, a better block there by Jeff Hunt. Or sorry, excuse me, Taylor Downick for Mohawk as he tries to make a play. And Patrick Lavone of Mohawk tries to save the ball for Mohawk, dives into the crowd. A few laughs being shared. It's nice to see in this high-paced game. As McMaster inbounds, makes his way up the court. Trying to look for that open man as they've done all game long. Nice pull-up jumper there. Couldn't quite get it. Nice rebound by Mohawk as they charge their way up the floor. Number 14, nice charge and finish. Kojo Afar, who is a new addition to the Mohawk Mountaineers, a transfer from Sault Ste. Marie. As McMaster tries to set a play here. Nice defense here by Mohawk. Start off this fourth quarter. As soon as I say that, McMaster finds a way in, gets the easy two. As Mohawk tries to make a comeback here. Nice pass there. However, couldn't quite get it as Mohawk tries to recuperate. And a substitution being made by McMaster. Number 32, Joseph Rocca, coming in for number 22 of McMaster, Rohan Pony. As some sweat was spilled onto the floor in this high-paced game. Some cleanup needed to be made there as McMaster inbounds. 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter. But is it enough time for Mohawk to make a comeback here in this game? As McMaster puts up the three and rebounds. Foul being called on Mohawk. McMaster getting ready to inbound. As another mess is being cleaned up on the floor. Trying to keep the safety of the players to our best interest, of course. As we show once again, the big spill by McMaster. Cost of this aggressive play. As back on the court, nice block by Mohawk to set up this play. Coming down the court, hard. Nice perimeter passing by Mohawk, trying to find its way back in. As number 15 draws the foul. Veteran here at Mohawk, was part of that championship team 2 years ago. As he goes to the line for two, Taylor Downick for Mohawk. As substitutions are getting ready for both teams as he makes that first shot. Number 21 getting ready for McMaster to come in, David McCulloch, and number 32 of Mohawk, Lamar. As he makes the second shot. Another substitution coming in along with 21 from McMaster, number 11, Connor Gilmore, make their way into the fray. As Connor Gilmore goes to inbound the ball. McMaster makes their way up with the ball. However, a nice pickoff by Mohawk, number 32, Lamar Barr, as he's trying to make a play here aggressively. Tries to finish, but couldn't quite get that 2 points. However, draws the foul. As a substitution is being made for McMaster. Number 4, Trayvon McNeil. As Mohawk is getting ready to inbound here. Number 3, Patrick Levone. Tries to make. Number 44 gets the rebound. Couldn't quite get that floater. However, number 14, Kojo Afar, draws the foul, and miscommunication here on the floor. Foul was called, however, no one is going to the line. They inbound the ball instead. Mohawk has possession as they try to make something happen here. Nice floater there by Mohawk, however, to no avail. Nice rebound. And number 32, Lamar Barr, finishes off with 2 points for Mohawk. As McMaster tries to make a comeback to that as they make their way up the floor. Nice perimeter passing here by McMaster as they charge their way through the lane. Number 14 draws the foul for pushing for Mohawk. McMaster ball. As Trayvon McNeil makes the inbound for McMaster. Passes it to number 11, who goes for the three-pointer and gets it. Connor Gilmore, 3 points for McMaster. As Mohawk tries to make a comeback here with only 6:37 left in this fourth quarter. As a foul is called on McMaster, number 11. And Lamar Barr getting ready to make the inbound for Mohawk. Mohawk trying to find their way in. However, McMaster's defense very aggressive here. However, number 15 finds his way in. Gets 2 points for Mohawk. Score Max 79, Mohawk 57. As McMaster tries to keep this lead. Number 11 tries to make the shot, however, it's no avail. Mohawk rebounds quickly, making their way back up the court. Number 44, Brian Hursky with a nice play for Mohawk, giving them the extra 2 points. Awesome play there by Mohawk with 5:53 left in this fourth quarter. As both benches, as McMaster calls a timeout to try to recuperate. Beautiful play by Brian Hursky of Mohawk as we get ready to take another look at that beautiful play. As McMaster tries to recuperate from the first half of this fourth quarter. 5:45 left in this fourth quarter. Mohawk also trying to mount a comeback here with a 20-point deficit. It's been done before. Mohawk, no slouch, for sure. As we take another look at that beautiful play by Brian Hursky of Mohawk College. Both teams make their way back out on the court to resume play in this fourth quarter. Like I was saying, Mohawk, no slouch compared to McMaster University. Averaging 91.1 points per game last season alone. Once again, going undefeated on their home court last year. 9-0, 6-3 away. So this Mohawk team is no slouch for sure, even with these new additions. As the inbound didn't quite go McMaster's way, now Mohawk ball. With number 15, Taylor Downick of Mohawk makes the inbound. Number 32, O.J. Watson, who tries to set a play here for the Mohawk Mountaineers. As a foul is called on number 32 of McMaster. As Mohawk tries to make a nice play to no avail, however. A little bit too fancy, I guess. As McMaster makes their way back up hard on the court. Pass to number 4, Trayvon McNeil gets that 3-pointer. Only to add to Max. Big lead on Mohawk. 82-59 the score. Mohawk, though, with a nice answer, Patrick Lavard with a 3-pointer himself, and speaking of which, gets the steal as McMaster tries to inbound. Nice comeback there by Mohawk, an extra 2 points. As they try to cut this lead in this fourth quarter. 4:50 left in this fourth quarter. As McMaster inbounds, number 32, Joseph Rocca. McMaster tries to set the play here. Mohawk's defense has been a little bit better in this fourth quarter than it has been throughout the game for sure, and it's shown. As number 14 tries to strip the ball and gains possession as it goes off number 10 of McMaster, Taylor Black. Mohawk ball. As a a melee of substitutions being made here for both teams. Fresh legs coming in for both teams, trying to keep up with this high-pace action. Number 12, Matt Fennell, making the inbound to Matt Saval, point guard for Mohawk, as he tries to make a play here. Nice moves there by Matt Saval. Almost loses possession, or control of the ball, so. Nice attempt at a steal. A steal there by McMaster as they make their way up the court. Foul made by number 10 there. As number 3, Leon Alexander, tries to get that 2 points. Substitution being made for number 44, who looks to be hurt a little on the McMaster bench. Number 5 coming in, Troy Joseph for him. As number 44 is being looked at right now. And number 3 going to the line for 2, Leon Alexander of McMaster, as he makes the first shot. Number 44 of McMaster seems to be having some shoulder issues as trainers look at him. And number 3 making the second shot for McMaster. Last season, McMaster averaged 68% on free throws. As Mohawk tries to get another 2 points here, try to shorten this deficit as they make the inbounds. Matt Saval has the ball, tries to make the play. Nice pass. Number 12, three-pointer to no avail. McMaster rebounds as they make their way back up on the court. Out of bounds by McMaster. Tries to set the play there. However, could not quite get it. Gets the ball out of bounds as Mohawk inbounds the ball. 3:40 left in this fourth quarter. As Mohawk coaches try to recuperate their team here, try to make this comeback. This 20-point deficit. Mohawk ball. A little scramble there for the ball. McMaster comes out on top here. A little scramble and play there. Foul being called on number 23. It's number 22 of McMaster. Rohan goes to the line for 2. Like, as we said at the beginning of this broadcast, Amos Connolly, a quote. He said, Mohawk has great size, terrific athletes and shooters, and this game will be a war for our guys. So far it has been. However, it's been more of a war for Mohawk than it has been for McMaster as they try to make a comeback here in this fourth quarter. McMaster playing aggressively, and it's paying off with them as they have a 19-point lead against Mohawk with 3 minutes left in this fourth quarter, and some fresh legs coming on the floor for Mohawk. Trying to get this game back on track for the Mohawk Mountaineers.
Both teams showing signs of fatigue. Can Mohawk turn it around with 3 minutes left on the clock? We'll see.
Number 22 makes his first shot at the free throw line. Tries to make his second and does. Mohawk quickly trying to make that inbound, trying to make that play. See some desperation almost from these Mohawk Mountaineers trying to make a comeback here. Making wild plays, however, that went in their favor for that one. As McMaster tries to steal the ball, however, instead steps out of bounds. Mohawk ball. Make the inbound. A little back and forth action there. Number 3 with the three-pointer, Leon Alexander. As McMaster tries to make the comeback up on the floor. Hard to no avail though. Mohawk has the ball once again, back and forth passing. A little backdoor action. Tries to get the foul, however, Could not quite get it. Instead, Mohawk draws. Mohawk draws the foul. Number 32, Lamar Barr, goes to the line for 2. Makes his first. Nice and easy. As McMaster looks to bring in some last substitutions here. 2:40 left in this fourth quarter. Still a 20-point deficit for the Mohawk Mountaineers to come back from. As McMaster makes their way up the court. Tries to set the play here. Nice strong defense here by Mohawk. Couldn't quite get into the lane, which is what they need to do more of. They need to pressure McMaster more so that they don't get that open lane to get that easy 2 points. As some more substitutions are getting ready for McMaster to come into play here. As Mohawk goes to the line, number 14, Kojo Afari, a new addition to the Mohawk Mountaineers. As he makes his first shot. However, couldn't make his second. McMaster rebounds, however. Mohawk strips the ball from McMaster. Back and forth action. McMaster gaining possession. As all these as a foul is called, and fresh legs come in for all the McMaster line here. As Patrick Levaron goes to the line for Mohawk. Couldn't quite make his first shot there. A little in and out. Tries to make his second. To no avail. McMaster rebounds. Last 2 minutes and 10 seconds of this fourth quarter. Fast-paced action here, still in the fourth quarter of this game. Usually you see some guys slowing down maybe, but no, not this game. These guys are going hard. They're trying to get that win. However, is the deficit too big for Mohawk to come back from a 17-point deficit? As the ball comes loose and McMaster goes for that ball, makes their way back up the court, tries to make the play. Passes it out to number 33, Marco Verhoeven, as he makes the three-pointer. Mohawk trying to make that comeback. That 20-point deficit now back in play for Mohawk. As a double foul is called between both number 3 on Mohawk and McMaster. As Mohawk calls a timeout on the floor. Minute 50 left in this fourth quarter. As you see Mohawk, as they're reviewing this. Mohawk making the inbound. Lamar Barr making his way up the court. Trying to salvage what's left of this fourth quarter, trying to cut the deficit down. passing here by Mohawk. Nice shot, couldn't quite get it off though. And then McMaster rebounds and makes their way back up the court. Number 13 tries to make a big play. Goes for the charge, couldn't quite get it. Nice aggressive play by both teams here. If there was any doubt of the toughness of either team, there shouldn't be any after this game is done. As number 32 makes his way up the court, Barr and McMaster and Mohawk fighting for possession of the ball with a minute 14 left in this fourth quarter. And Mac leading the charge 89-70 against Mohawk.
Well, Mohawk fans were promised this would be an intense game, and both teams have definitely delivered.
As you can see, the McMaster coach trying to rally some of his players. It's number 33 for McMaster makes his way to the line, makes the first. Number 33, Marco Grahoven for McMaster. Makes that first shot, goes for a second. Doesn't quite make that one, however, McMaster rebounds. Mohawk fighting hard underneath the basket for that rebound, however, McMaster. Foul is called on Mohawk as a substitution is being made. Number 22 makes his way in for number 15. Number 45, Lucas Marsden for McMaster heads his way to the free throw line for two. Makes the first. And the second with a minute 8 left in this fourth quarter. This last minute of basketball should be very, very interesting between both teams as Mohawk is fighting hard for these last few moments of this game. Out of bounds by McMaster, being thrown in by Mohawk. Mohawk makes the inbounds. It's number 44, Brian Hersky. As a charging foul is drawn, and McMaster now making the inbound. Final few seconds left in this fourth quarter. A little back and forth here between McMaster, and picked off by number 14 and Mohawk, trying to make his way back down the court. Couldn't quite get that 2 points. Nice rebound by McMaster as they make their way down. Number 13, nice play there. Making his way in with a nice floater by McMaster, Nathan McCarthy. 26 seconds left in this fourth quarter. As McMaster regains possession, making their way down the court. As they look to hold on to this ball for the last 16 seconds of this game. As McMaster takes this game 94-70 against Mohawk. A little bit a different look this time around than last year. It was last year Mohawk won 86-82. This year McMaster takes the charge with 94-70. Which is the final score for this game. It's promised to be a high impact, high octane game, and it delivered on every single level, for sure. As we see the players paying some respects to each other. Great game between these two teams. As we sign off here from Mohawk College and the David Braley Recreational Center here at Mohawk.